hello.
Hello.
Can you
Hi,
hear me
Joe.
okay? Oh,
Yeah,
Happy
yep.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Um,
How
Came
was
back
your
from
holiday?
Japan. Yeah, it was actually busy working, but yeah, I just came back from Japan. Like so, Christmas like working, but January like a New Year, year end, New Year, it was okay. Yeah, and then came back still having a little bit of a jet lag,
A
but
little bit jet lag.
overall
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
And you're back.
Yeah,
The family's all back
I'm
in.
very bad about controlling my like a cycle. Yeah,
Yeah. You're very routine oriented. Is that
yeah.
right?
Like good news is the I can like as soon as I go to bed, I just fall asleep, and then I wake up like kind of almost like the same time every day. That's very good. But opposite side of that is the I mean whenever like my cycle disturbed, it takes
Mm-hmm.
time for me to kind of go
Get
back
back.
to the normal level, normal cycle. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very
exactly.
similar. I get up at the same time every day. Sometimes I usually go to bed at the same time, but the last I got my cat neutered on Sunday. So I've been having to watch him closely, and
Yeah.
that has disrupted my R cycle because he's on the same cycle as I am, but he's a little bit disrupted. So I won't fall asleep, but I may be a little about 85, 90. I'm a little slow today. I'm a little slow. Yeah. So, yeah. Um,
All
so
right.
let's see where I do apologize. I just got here. Pram Kicker in the
No problem.
comedy
Yeah.
monologues. So uh yeah, I'm let's see, we're in the comedy monologues. I got into a
Yeah. That,
so there's so many of these that you have to scroll forever and ever and ever. And I've had some students that have read. I have one student that's read through who found the link, and he's actually read through most of these. So it's been very
mm,
difficult to. And I'm scrolling back to where we were because he's way down the line. Now some of these, yeah, he's and I saw
I
him on
haven't. I
Saturday.
haven't. I don't think we have started.
Let me go ahead and
I don't
share
think
my
we have
screen.
started this section. Yeah.
No, we're on the very first one. Yeah, so I had to scroll all the way to the top.
Yeah.
So forgive
Exactly.
me. Yeah, it's some of these they've got some swear words, so just ignore those if you want. I'm okay if you want to. I have some students who don't like to swear. That's personal preference. I do apologize for them. I didn't write them. Um, One thing. So we'll read most of these. There's some Shakespeare in here. Stuff we'll skip through, right? Most people don't talk like Shakespeare. We'll probably skip those. Um,
Right.
but we've got a lot of these, a long way to go before we get to the end of or near the end. So there's tons of this stuff. You'll have to also, there's no context. So, like the other ones were kind of written in isolation, were a little bit confusing. These come from actual plays or movies. Okay, so there may be some
Yep.
typos, but they come from plays and movies, but there is no context. So my advice is just take it slow, pause if you have to.
Yeah. Pause. Yeah. Right.
But
At
let's
the
start
same time,
here.
I think we did. Yeah, and then at the same time, like we did a couple of lessons ago. You paid very detailed attention to my pronunciation, and then you pointed out, for example, stop T and all of that. So could you, obviously, fluency is one thing, but also if any kind of a even minor thing you think I can improve?
Minor.
Like if you could point it, yeah, minor ones, yeah.
I think
Because you said like, for example, like for natives, like they don't really know why, but they can tell there is some difference, and you point out it's like a kind of a stop T or to versus ta or that sort of thing is
okay.
perfectly
So
fine.
if
Yeah,
I remember correctly,
so I don't have to
you
go
want
very fast. Like yeah, sorry.
if I remember correctly, you wanted me to basically, how would you say this? Right? That's kind of where we're going? How would you articulate this, right? With reductions or anything like that? If that's what we're going for, right? How would I do it? Is that right?
Yeah, or whatever you. Whenever I more like when I read these monologues, if you think not just any sort of the gaps where you would expect from the 100% native speakers, yeah, just point it out to me as well. Yeah, because I know,
Okay.
like for example, whenever I check my recording, I noticed even me noticed like for example, oh, this is the wrong pronunciation, which you didn't point out. I think there are probably too many incorrect ones. That's why probably you can't point out every single one. Like it's not about the completely wrong pronunciation. For example, like a short O becomes the long O or other way around. But for example, some short O, like my mouth is not the wide enough or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
So
try to be as
whatever
detailed
you
as
know,
possible.
yes, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's start at the top where with
He called,
Jude.
yeah. Yeah, Jude, yeah. He called me by my name. His name for me, Judy Root, because I always swear, apparently,
Okay, so stop right there. So right
because I
here,
always swear, apparently, yeah.
yeah, no, that was okay. So you didn't mispronounce anything, but he called me by my name, and you said he called me by my name. His name for me, and you don't need to go up and pitch there. He called me by my name. His name for me. You know, it's just a matter of fact.
His
Judy
name for,
Rude.
sorry, so I should more like kind of up and down.
Well,
Yeah.
you
He
no,
called me,
just a regular, just
he
down.
called me
His
by my
name.
name. Sorry,
Yeah.
his name for me. That part or the one
Yeah,
earlier?
you're
Okay, his
probably
name for
if
me,
any
Judy Root.
correct.
Yeah, good. Okay. He called me by my name. His name for me, Judy Root, because I always swear, apparently. Okay. The only fucking person I have ever allowed to call me Judy. I went and stood in a car. I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. Okay. I went I went and stood in I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. Yeah, not so smooth. I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out.
And so right
I
there,
hadn't seen him since. Yeah.
yeah, so right there. So first I wrote this down. It sounded like you said apparently, and we went shorty, parent.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah.
Correct. And then right here, I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. See the TT there? You can combine them.
Hello. Are you back? Sorry.
Yeah, did you hear me
I
there?
am I back? I think it's my problem.
No, that's okay. So I was talking about in this line, I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. You're going to combine those T's right there. One word. Bit to.
So which
Instead-
T? A bit of bit to okay, bit to sort my head out. Yeah. So apparently or sorry, what was the
It's just the word, just like your parents. Apparently.
Apparently. Okay, apparently.
That's
The only fucking person I have ever allowed to call me Judy. I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. I hadn't seen him since we split up. Not once. 10 years. It's weird. I always thought I wasn't that bothered about him. But I've not really liked anyone since. Not enough to live with. And you don't expect that when you break up with someone, do you? Do you? Yeah. Someone,
no, I like how you said, do you? You did it right the first time.
Okay. And you don't expect that when you break up with someone, do you? Do you?
Do you? Do you? Do you? Yeah.
Confused. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. You did
Do
it
you?
right the first. Do you? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you don't expect that when you break up with someone, do you? That they won't be bettered. Yeah. That they won't be bettered, upgraded. That you will just stand still. 10 years. Fuck.
Okay, stop right there. So right here, not enough. You did
Not
a
enough?
perfect. Yeah, you did correctly where you flapped the T and not, right? Not enough, because there's a vowel over here.
Yeah, not
You
enough.
did-
Yeah.
Correct. You did that when you were reading. However, right here, split up.
Okay.
You did not do it. You could
Split
do
it
it.
up.
Split up. You don't have to, but you can, right? Since we split up, flap T.
Since we split it up. Split it up.
Split up. Just do a D sound.
Split it up. Yeah. Since we split it up. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I think generally going through there, and we'll go back to this. I went and stood in the card shop. Like all of these, and stood, card shop, for all of those are stop consonants, right? The D, the P,
Yeah.
the same. So if there's no vowel after the consonant, you're going to stop generally.
Yeah. So I went and stood in. Sorry, but there are vowels, right? And
Yeah, but
in,
not right here. I went and stood. So you're not releasing the D there.
Okay. There. Okay.
And then the P, you're not releasing that there's a consonant. And then we already talked about this one. Sort my head out, TM, right? So
Right.
there's not a vowel after. Then you're
Okay.
stopping.
I went and stood in a card shop for a bit to sort my head out. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And so that's a really good sentence that illustrates, many times.
Right.
D
Right.
here, D there, P, T, and then T again, where all of these would be stop situations. So in this next one, I want you to pay attention for that. Let's look for those stop situations, because I think generally most Americans are going to stop. They're not releasing those consonants. They're just stringing along to make as many one word combinations as possible.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. So I stood there So I stood there in the shop, and there were loads of congratul congratulation congratulation cards, new babies, pink pink and blue, sto- storks with bundles, balloons, balloons, all spewing out, spewing out.
Correct. Spew. Yeah, long
Yeah.
year.
So I stood there. Sorry, let me repeat again, like because it's not that it's a lot of words. So yeah, isolated words. So I stood there in the shop, and there were loads of so there were loads of congratulation cards. You baby, pink and blue, stork with bundles, balloons, all spewing out. Okay. There was one. There was one with a photo of fat little baby feet next to a card which said, "It's your birthday. Let's get wankered." And all of a sudden, I didn't know who I was anymore. Was I free or wasted or wasted? Just for a minute, then I was fine. Left the shop.
So right here, that was very good. But right here, this one, and all of a sudden, I didn't know who I was anymore. And you said, the way you said it, all of a sudden, I didn't know who I was anymore. And so you don't have to go up and page for anymore because there's a period. You're just going down, right?
Anymore. Okay.
Anymore. Yeah. All of a
Anymore.
sudden, I didn't know who I was anymore. Just matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Okay. And all of and all of a sudden, I didn't know who I was anymore. Okay. And then, of course, I started going fucking stir fucking crazy, thinking of all the things I could have said. And then, of course, I started going fucking stir fucking crazy, thinking of all the things I could have said. Like, what the fuck were you doing having a kid month after break up with me?
So
What
you're
the
gonna
fuck?
do, yeah, were you doing what the fuck are you doing having a kid months after breaking up with me? Like you said you were like me, you said you were like me, you never wanted kids. Like damn straight I look good. So these are all these things in quotes, right? And the British, this is British, obviously, because they're using wankered. That's a very
Okay.
British, you're right. It's a very British thing. The other
Yeah.
thing that'll tip you off that is British, instead of double quotes, they use one for quoting. So
Oh, okay.
that's a
Yeah,
very
that's
British
right.
thing. Americans would use the double quote, and so this is British, which is fine. They're still speaking with the very few exceptions stuff that we would say, right? Most of
Right.
it is stuff that Americans would say.
What the fuck were you doing having a kid month
Try,
after breaking up
try
with me?
when it's plural, drop the th. Months.
Month. Oh, a month. So months. Yeah. Like S only. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Like you said, the fuck are you doing having a kid months after breaking up with me? Okay. Like you said, you are like me. I, you said you are like me. You never, you never wanted kids. Like damn straight, I look good. I haven't been sucked dry by tit leeches.
Like tit
Uh,
leeches, yeah.
Tit, tit, tit leeches.
So she's saying these are all the things I could have said. Like you're saying, like, what the fuck were you doing having kids months after breaking up with me? Like, you said you were like me. You never wanted kids. Like, and so she's doing like every time she's bringing up a new thing that she could have said, but she didn't, or he. Well, it's Jude, right? So it's a she that she could have said. So you're gonna pause, right? Like, and then you're gonna go into the thing, like, and then you're gonna do the thing, right? And then like this, like
Uh,
that, like this. She's giving all the quotes of things that she can remember that she could have said. She's thinking of all those things, right?
okay. Bit tricky, yeah. And then of course I started going star fucking crazy. So I'm going crazy, right? That's just
Yeah,
yeah.
stir crazy. Stir crazy is not being able to like stand still or sit still,
Okay.
rather. Sit still, stand still, whatever. You're just like, oh, what? And then she's going crazy in her mind, stir crazy, thinking of all the things, and fucking stir fucking crazy, right? She just
Okay, I just didn't know the word like a stir crazy. Yeah.
you
So
stir
it's like
crazy, just
even more crazier than crazy. You mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's just um either your head, your mind can't sit still, right? You're good going through, or you can't sit still. You're stir crazy. You got to move around. But in this case, she's talking about her mind not being able to sit still because she's thinking of all the things she could have said but didn't.
Okay. And then like all these quotes are kind of yeah,
Examples of things
examples.
she
Yeah,
could,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
of things she could have said, right?
Okay. Um, okay. And then I almost threw up because that lady who smells of that lady who smells of egg went by, and also because what if we stayed together? What if he'd asked me and I'd said yes in a moment of madness and let him do his thing? I completely lost what he's
So,
or she.
so yeah, and what you said, what if you said, let's take this right here, and then I almost threw up because the lady who smells of egg went by, and also because what if we'd stayed together, and then you said, what if he'd asked me, and you want to go, what if he'd asked me, you want to emphasize the verb, what if he'd
What if
asked me, and I'd said
what if
yes.
asked me? I'd say yes. In a moment of madness. I'll let him do his thing. And we've done the normal stuff and had the babies. Would that be my life now? Would I be happy, happier, different? What? Why wasn't I? Why wasn't I good enough to? Why wasn't I good enough to want to impre, impregnate?
Impregnate.
Impregnate. How
Correct.
come Judy Rood lost out to Molly Blah?
So apparently, this somebody she's thinking about how somebody this guy broke up with her uh for all these things that she's talking about here, and then she's saying to herself, if I'd said all these things and I'd said yes, let him do what he wanted, would we be normal? Would we be having babies? Would that be my life now? Would I be happier, different? And then why wasn't I good enough to want to get pregnant? How come I lost Judy Rood, right? I'm Judy Rood. How come I lost out to this Molly Blah character? So the other thing is
Yeah,
some of these are hard to understand, right? Because like I said, there is just no context. So the better idea, and I'm gonna put this link in the chat for you so you can take a look at some of these.
yeah,
Because we
yeah.
can start with this one. We can start with this one right here next time. It's not the point is it may be trying to kind of read between the line what's going on here. This one gives a little bit of a setup, so
Right.
that's nice. But they don't all have that. They don't all give you a setup. Um, and so
Yeah, this
You
might
kind
be
of
more easier.
a little easier, right? They give you a little
Sounds
bit of a
easier. Like
sense
looks easier. Yeah.
who
Okay.
Beatrix is, right? This character, 17-year-old. So now you're thinking 17-year-old. I'm a teenager, and then you
Yeah.
got to think from that perspective too. What are they talking about? And comedy is prom comedy. So she's
Yep.
17 years old. She's going to her prom, and it's a comedy about that. Apparently, it sounds like. But then they also talk about promenade. Prom is short for promenade. So, so the other thing, and the other thing I'm noticing too is like it's good to be slow, but also just get through the words. Just if you mispronounce it, just mispronounce it, and then we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Rather
Okay.
than trying to get it perfect, and then
But yeah. Okay.
you
But
know what I
the
mean.
previous one was so difficult, like because I didn't understand what he or context like. So
Judy,
yeah,
yeah.
she's talking about. Yeah.
Well, I'm
I
going to tell
even
you right
don't
now.
understand whether that's she or him talking, right? I mean, so yeah. So even like even if I kind of force me through the reading things, like it was impossible. But
Well,
yeah,
get used to that because a lot of these are like that. So
yeah. So
you're
I probably have to read it before in advance so that I know what's coming. Yeah.
I mean, that's one angle. Or don't worry about getting it. Don't worry about figuring it out, and just read what you see. That's the other thing. Another way to go about it, because
Yeah, but that doesn't work because yeah, for probably like this prom one maybe okay because it's easier for me to understand and I know where when I should pause, but the previous one impossible because I don't know. I mean, all I can do is just to kind of read it at the no changing pace or no period or no pause. I mean, anyway, yeah, I got it. Okay.
well, just because we've only got a few minutes left, and I know you're probably late over there in the UK. Do you want to keep doing these? Do you think?
Yeah, I think let me anyway. If you could send me the link, I will try to read it through. Yeah, ahead of the lesson, and then I probably yeah have a more understanding about context.
I'll put it in both. There's
Yeah,
one where I'm like reading, putting our words, which today it was only apparently and impregnate were the only words that you mispronounced. Um,
but
the
yeah, stop T as well, right? Yeah.
Well, stop T, right? But I can't. I didn't write down every word that you could have stopped because
No,
there's
of course not. But yeah, just
tons of
kind of
them.
what I can
Yeah,
practice
what you
is
can work on. Absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so refer to that stop, that final stops, so you can remember what consonants you are stop consonants, because they're not all stop consonants, but those are those stop consonants. I'll write down apparently and impregnate because I'm only going to write down the words that you mispronounce,
Right.
rather than like the things we can work on, right? Because then
Yeah.
I'm not paying
That's fine.
attention to
Yeah,
what you're
no,
saying.
that's fine. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I shared that link with you on here. But I'll put it in here as well, where I'm putting your practice words. I shared it in both links, so you should
Okay.
have it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Uh, you're welcome. Okay, thanks, Jimmy. Great to see you. Take
Yeah.
care.
Next week. Bye.
Thank you.